How's everybody doing today?
Doing good.
I gotta give thanks to God for this opportunity. Thanks for Mama and Papa, to my youth leader, and to my peers for this opportunity. My message today is entitled "Meditation is the Key." And so when we meditate, we all know what meditation is. When you read the Word and you practice and practice until you get it. And so I feel like we all do the reading aspect part right. We're all good at reading and getting the understanding of the Word, but when it comes to practicing, I feel like that's where we fail. And it's not necessarily that we don't practice, it's just the reasoning behind why we practice. And so I feel like when we practice the past. And so I learned as a kid that practicing the past isn't going to get you nowhere. You got to practice to learn and obtain.
That's right.
And so when you practice to learn and obtain, you'll remember it more, because when you practice the past, you're practicing for one event. You're practicing just for that moment. And so when you practice for that, what about after that? Because just because you have a test one time don't mean it ain't going to come again and again. And so I went to Psalms 119 verses 98, and it says, "Though through thy commandments has made me wiser than my enemies, for they are ever with me." This is David. David knows that the day he signed up to be a Christian, he also signed up for 24/7 attack. And so the only way that he can counter those attacks is if he stayed in the Word and kept God in his life. And so how do we keep God in our lives? If we go to Joshua 1:8, it says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of our mouth. Thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein, for then thou shalt make thy ways prosperous and have a good success." And so the only way that we can keep the Word in our lives is if we meditate daily, day and night. And so true meditation is when you read the Word, and reading the Word has 4 steps to it. The first step is you have to pray to God, and when you pray for forgiveness, because God isn't going to reveal to you revelations or the solution to your problem if you have a sinful heart. The second step is you have to read the Word to get a layout or a foundation. You always want to get a foundation of what the Word is telling you. And then the third step is called a prayer for application. That's when you pray to God and you say, "Hey God, you showed me the scripture. Now you have to reveal how this is going to affect me in my life. How this is going. You got to show me the path in the right way." And then the fourth step, you have to be open to receive. If you're not open to receive, the other 3 steps don't even matter. And so those 4 steps, that's just the reading part. Now when it comes to applying and acting, that's the most important part to me. Because if you don't apply it and practice it, then you'll never get it. And so when you constantly practice, and then after a while of practicing, the test comes. Even after the test comes, you have to continue to practice, because just because it comes once don't mean it ain't gonna come again. Right. And so when you do that, after a while, you'll begin to realize that it becomes easier and easier for you to meditate and for you to practice the Word. And it's just like walking. After a while of practice walking, after a while, you can practice without thinking of it, Right. And it's just like the Word. After a while of practicing, you won't even think about it. It just becomes your life. And so I charge you to meditate daily, every day, and stay in God.